Hi guys, I'm going to give you a 1 second trick so that you can increase your testosterone. Here's what I want to tell you. Last time when I was doing the tweak of the week for you guys over 50, how to get rid of belly fat without having to do any crazy diets or join a gym. I don't know if you guys noticed, but last time I was on live, this was covering the router and the modem up there. And I want to explain why that was, because I know what happens with you guys when you're looking at a video. I know you're looking at the background. So I want to explain to you why this was covering the modem and the router. It's because the lights that are shining from up there, we have two blue lights, and then there's a big blue light that flashes on that router. When Cesar, who was visiting, he was sleeping in this room because this is the office. It's also the spare bedroom. When he was sleeping at night, he realized that those were shining, and he's smart enough to know, because I've taught him this, that when there are lights, any blue light will cause melatonin to go packing. And he knew that in order for him to get a good night's sleep, he has to have melatonin flowing through his body. So that's the reason why he threw this bag over that. He didn't have time to wake up at night to do what I'm going to tell you guys to do. Here's the simple trick. Now, I don't have, black electrical tape. So I'm just going to use this as an example. All you need to do is cut a little piece of this and put it over the lights that are up there, so that when you go to bed at night, your room is completely dark. And back when I was an eye doctor, I knew that blue light is something that your retina will register. So for you guys thinking, well, Janina, the blue light, he won't see it because he's asleep. So why does it matter? Guys, let me tell you, as a previous eye doctor, I can confirm your eyelid skin is super thin. So think of your eyelid skin as these thin curtains. They're not thick enough to negate the blue light that's going to come from these devices up here. And for those of you who have office computers, or you have printers, you need to turn all those devices off. The reason we don't turn the internet off is because so many things that run on the internet that we need. So I would rather you cover the light. Don't use the blue tape. You use black. And why? As a female, I think aesthetically everything's going to look better if it was black on black. If he put the blue tape, I'd get pretty upset, because when he's gone, I'd have to look at there and see those blue blotches. So simple trick. And why am I telling you this? Because when melatonin goes packing, guess what else happens? You're not going to get a good night's sleep. You're not going to get into deep sleep. You need to get into what we call the slow wave of sleep. And that happens at the first end of your sleep cycle. So think of it this way. If melatonin isn't flowing through your body, it's because you probably got exposed to blue light. You can get it from these devices up here, or you could get from your, I didn't bring my cell phone in, the cell phone. But I taught you guys in a previous week. Let me see my notes here. I think I taught you the iPhone strategy. Yes, I taught it to you in week number 2 of the tweak of the week. So go back to the playlist, go to week number 2, and learn the tweak of the week, so you get blue light removed from your cell phone. But the TV is another issue. When the television set is on and you're trying to sleep, that blue light from the TV is going to cause harm. So I would recommend no TV for at least 1 hour before bed. So if you are going to do anything on a device, use your phone, but use the trick we taught you in week number 2. Now, when it comes to melatonin, you have to understand that melatonin will not be made unless, and I repeat, unless you have had exposure to the sun during the day. So let's walk through how this works. When you wake up in the morning, what I want you to do within 5 minutes of waking up would be the best. But hey, I get it. Life can get in the way. If at least minimum within the first 60 minutes of waking up, you get your butt outside and you expose as much of your skin as you can to the morning sun. When you do that, in just 5 minutes, guys, that's all I'm asking. When you do that, along with exposing it to your eyes, you're going to send a signal to your brain that it starts your biological clock running. And that biological clock means that it's going to release serotonin. Why is serotonin important? Because serotonin is the precursor to make melatonin. So no serotonin, no melatonin. So remember, you have to create the serotonin in the morning. Now, granted, let's say you can't go out in the morning because it's too cold. Well, I'm recording this here in May of 2026. It is beautiful weather almost all over the US. I don't know about other places in the world, but I'm just talking about the US for right now. You want to get out there at least for 5 minutes, but if it's too cold to expose yourself, just bundle up and make sure your eyes are open and don't stare into the sun. Look towards the sun. Don't be dumb and, try to burn your retinas. Here's the important thing also about the sun. You need vitamin D in order, get this, guys, in order to make testosterone. So here's how this works. When you guys are sleeping, that's when growth hormone is going to run at its highest, meaning growth hormone is what's going to help you build muscle, which I know all of you guys want. And growth hormone is also going to help the building that goes on during the night to build more testosterone. And where is testosterone built? It's in your testicles for the most part. Your testicles is where testosterone is going to be made. But the bricks to make the testosterone is from the vitamin D. So you need vitamin D to make the bricks that your body's going to use at night to create the testosterone. And the vitamin D is kind of like how should we say this? The vitamin D is like the engine starter to get the testosterone made. So here's the key benefits of starting your day by being out in the morning sun. It sets the biological clock so that you have what you need flowing through your body so that 14 to 16 hours later, melatonin is going to show up and give you a good night's sleep. And here's what's important, guys. A good night's sleep means that you get into deep sleep because that's when muscles are being built, which I'm going to go back to the history here of what I've been teaching you so far. I told you guys in the previous tweak of the week to stop smoothies. That's another testosterone killer. So if you haven't seen that video, go back into the playlist and watch that one. And I also told you guys in week 1 to stop weighing yourself because that's the wrong key performance indicator when it comes to burning off belly fat so that you can reverse health problems and do it without having to diet, because I call dieting the 4-letter word. Diet is a 4-letter word in my vocabulary, and without having to do a gym membership or strenuous exercise. Now, I hope this is really clear for you guys. I am looking at this being really short and to the point, but here's what I want to give you. I want to give you a fun fact. If you have an animal, a cat or a dog, you're going to notice what they do. In the morning, they will go find the sun and they will try to expose themselves to it. Now, if your animal is lucky enough to be able to go outside, he or she is going to make sure that he's exposing or she's exposing herself to the morning sun. And what is going to happen if you have a cat? The cat's fur doesn't allow the morning sun to penetrate the skin. So what happens is the oils in the cat's fur is what's going to produce the vitamin D that the cat needs in order to produce muscle, in order to produce testosterone. So when the cat is exposed to the sun, then they start licking themselves. They lick themselves because they're ingesting the vitamin D that they built onto their fur. So if you learned something that was interesting, give me a thumbs up. And also remember to subscribe so that you get more of these videos. That is the common sense way to burning off belly fat without struggling with giving up the things that you love. There's going to be a lot more of this coming. And if you subscribe, you will be part of this journey. And I will look forward to hearing from you guys on your transformations as you start putting all this master stacking of information that I'm giving you guys, because that's really what I'm doing here. Every time I come on, I'm giving you a little master class in what you can do so that you can help your body be at what I would call optimal. And of course, dropping 2 pant sizes in 6 months or less. So hopefully this makes sense to you. And if it doesn't, feel free to ask me questions. I am here to answer them. Comment in the comments below if you would like to consider being a guest on the live podcast when Cesar and I go live on Saturdays, so that we can go longer and answer your questions live if you're willing to share what's going on with you. Okay. So hopefully this was helpful. And remember, subscribe and give me a thumbs up.